Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How are you doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner, the biggest gob in sport. Uh, Christmas Eve, noon. We've got the big showdown with Big Ron. First of all, I want to give a big shout out to Spartan Demolition and Civil Engineering, Scott and Lee there, and Gary at Welcome Estates. Hope everybody's all right. I've got a documentary coming out on the 2nd of January, 8 o'clock every Monday for 13 weeks. So that'll give you something to watch, won't it? But anyway, back to the nature at hand. We're joined by Big Ron Lyle from his swanky Jersey gaff, 10-yard front sea. And he's never been in his swimming pool, I've been told, in the last 10 years. How's it going, Ron? The man with a swimming pool who can't swim.
The man from Atlantis.
Is that you, Ron?
Of course I can. Of course I've been in my swimming pool.
I've never seen me in it. Right, well, Dennis, there's a lot going on in boxing. There's a lot to get through here. They're going to be in for a treat, the fans today, with these 40-minute episodes. But we'll go balls deep then. Jack Massey, Dennis, what's gone on?
You want me to be blunt, Russ?
I want to be honest and not be a company man like a lot of people who come on here and say, "Oh, don't put that out, Russ. Don't put that out." So go on, be honest.
Listen. It's about being right. In any other industry, and I've been in the scrap metal business. That's my core business for my life. There's so many dishonourable people. We've created monsters. We've invested in the Jack Massey. He was nowhere. He was on a shelf. I bought him 2 titles. They were number 46 in the world. I manoeuvred it through my relationship with the IBO and Rodney Berman in South Africa. Got him the title shot, the world title shot. Made him a commodity. What does he do with Benn Shalom? Kevin Marie, who's frustrated the relationship between us and Jack. What a night in Bolton when he won the title. Got him matched up with a kid who he should beat, Bilal. And Shalom, what does Marie do with Benn Shalom? Tapping each other because I've made a commodity. Never put their hand in the pocket once. Me and Steve Crum subsidised his career, made him a commodity, made him relevant, and they go direct, break the contract, and now they're trying to riddle out of a contract. Well, I've been going legal, been taking legal advice, so I don't. I'm in the process. Obviously, we've got the Christmas holiday, but this ain't the end of the year. I'm not laying down with this one. They tried to make us an offer, made me an offer. So if they're saying they can walk away from the contract, why would they want him to make me percentage offers moving forward? Ludicrous, bad taste. And that's the sort of people they are. And that's sometimes them kind of people seem to flourish in this boxing industry. But no, Kevin Marie, Benn Shalom, absolutely not honourable people. And obviously Jack isn't, because he's telling fibs. And that's putting it mild. Say he's never refused a fight. He wouldn't fight. They sat in my office. They refused a fight against a light heavyweight, Lyndon Arthur. You can check with Pat Barrett. They wouldn't take that fight for his IBO world title. I'd got Al Siesta pestering my life out when I'd asked for it. Do you want to fight? Being a big fight in Manchester, wouldn't take that fight. Wouldn't go over to Belfast to fight Tommy McCarthy, saying, why should we go to Belfast to defend as the world champion? Well, what does Usyk do? Never fights in his own hometown. So Jack Massey isn't Usyk, is it? And Kev Marie isn't. They're not at that level. But Masterneck had got an IBF world title eliminator. Knocked that back. Now Jack's saying he didn't know about that fight. Well, so his manager doesn't communicate with his boxer. So I find it hard to believe somebody's telling Porky Pies here. Andy Isaac Chamberlain fight. I could have done that one, but then he's talking behind me back to Benn Shalom and wanting to do the deal. So just frustrating my business, and he's wrong, dishonourable, and now he's got stripped of the IBO. The IBO, I ended up having fallout words with Ed Ed Levine because I'm trying to keep hold of his title. And in the end, he says, look, he's not fighting people who you've put in front of us. I even asked for Jordan Thompson. I'd done that. I'd got that fight. And they ummed and ahed about that and then decided they wanted to go legal. So we are in a legal wrangle. And all of a sudden, I've seen this. He's going to fight Joseph Parker. What's all that about?
Well, the word doing the rounds, as you probably know, is that if he beats Parker, they're saying he could be Joshua's comeback fight, or him or Otto Walling.
All right. Well, man, why don't you put your name into that, Russ? It's becoming farcical. Ben Shalom shouldn't be in that position where he is because he doesn't understand the game. He's tapping people up. He's going direct. He's breaking rules and contracts. Matchroom are suing him. There's other people suing him. It's not very good for Sky. It's going to ruin Sky's reputation in boxing as well. So you know, and what they're doing, they're trampling on the lifeblood of the sport. You know, the small hole shows. I do small hole shows right up into the big shows. You know, I have. And without the small hole promoters, boxing's knackered. So you know, and it's in a way it's bullying the small hole shows. I'm not saying I'm getting bullied because I can look after myself, but it's just doing things because you can, and it's wrong. I've invested, and me and Steve Crump have invested in Jack Massey a lot of money, got him where nobody else were getting him, made him relevant. Like I said, made him a world champ. And people say, oh, yeah, but he does the fighting. Well, kids do fighting and don't win a central area. They still get in the ring and taking risks. Well, it just so happens I get the kids doing the fighting for meaningful titles and get them on a platform where they can make some proper money. And when you make an investment, Russ, you know, when you make an investment, what is an investment? Usually when you get a return. Yeah. What they've done, they've used us. Let us make the investment, let him get up there and then going behind our back and try and do side deals and snaky side deals because they're not proper businessmen and they're just not proper.
Yeah, it's not looking good for them, is it, Dennis? Because I know what you're like when you get bit between your teeth with lawyers.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the problem we've got, because the one thing I do possess is tenacity, and if I think I'm wrong, I'll take it as far as it needs to go, and I'm talking about it now. So let's get ready, Jack. Kev's the snake as well, so he's got a lot to answer for. He's gone behind me back on 2 or 3 situations. Jason McClory and him have got a bit to answer for. They didn't do some of these contracts like all of a sudden he pulls a contract out, and when it suits, oh, I can't find this contract. So he plays little games, and he's not the nice kid that he portrays. Old Kevin. I got on really well with him at the start, but obviously he got an hidden agenda. So we will see. We will see. But you know me, Russ. I think they've both got something to answer to. So Kev, get ready.
Okay. When Jason six sugars in his cup of tea, McCrory started with you, Dennis, did you say to him, if you mess up, Jason, all you got to do is put your hand up and tell the truth? Did you say that to him, Dennis?
He played behind his health, Jason. And me and Steve thought quite a lot about him, and we used to worry about him. We used to ring him up, make sure he were okay. But somebody who has caramel coffee and then 6 sugars in a caramel coffee is not looking after his health, is he? And I used to let him have. Michelle used to say, Miss Moneypenny, Dennis has fell asleep on your couch. And I go, leave him, he's all right, he's just having a little cat nap. She says, how many cat naps does he have a day? I says, I don't know, leave him. As long as he does the job right. And if he does, like you said, cock up, then, you put your hand up. Put your hand up, and we're here. I'm a solution man, aren't I, Russ? If there's a problem, we find a solution. So, yeah. But lied to me, didn't get the contracts sorted properly, didn't do what it said on the tin, and is allowed 2 snakes like Sam Kinnock and Kevin Marie to flourish. That's what Jason has done to us.
It's not like me, Ron, is he? When I break up one of your crystal glasses, I'd have said, "Oh, then I've just broke a crystal glass."
You break my heart every so often, you Russ, and that's what you do. So upset me with that big gob you've got. But you say what comes from your heart, and sometimes you ain't got a filter, which obviously pees me off, and it pees a lot of other people off. But you say it from the heart, Russ, and you don't like snakes, and I'm talking about two today.
Yeah, 2 anacondas.
yeah, try and strangle the life out, but they try and pick the prey, but they're not as smart as what they think they are. That's the thing, and that's where the weakness is. They're not quite as smart, but they suck people in who they think aren't as intelligent as them, and some boxers they fall for the, like that snake on Jungle Book. Trust in me, just in me. That's them.
Yeah. Well, they better get ready then, pair them out. They've got deep pockets.
That's the one weakness. They scared of money, and like going on at Sam Kinney. When Annie, the girl who fought Hannah in Glasgow, yeah. Alejandra, can't pronounce her name now, but she were in, on a life support, and the board wouldn't cough up because we're insured by the board. So we sent a circular out amongst us all. Obviously, we did up and above, and we asked Sam, right, we're going to all Club 2, fly Alejandra's parents over and a brother so they can be a bedside. Let's all muck in. Wouldn't chuck a penny in. So me and Steve, Steve, and I think Noel or whoever, there were 3 or 4 of us, put a few quid in to make sure that her family could be flown over and get looked after, and did it up and beyond, and made sure they got some spending money while they were over here to be at her side. And thankfully, she made 100% recovery. But that's the sort of people they are. They just takers, pal. That's what they are. I mean, 3 of the kids who are built up, including Dean Sutherland, it's just got them knocked off. He's chucked them in for fights, and they've just got knocked off. So he's took his 25% or whatever he has, and he'll be happy because they're just minor accountants. That's all they are. They just want to take the percentage, and they just treat some of these kids like pieces of meat as a commodity to feed off, and that's what they do. I'm not in boxing for that.
All right. They'll not be getting an invite to your New Year's Eve Jersey duel this year then, Dennis?
I'm thinking about scrubbing them off the list, yeah.
Right, no problem. Keenan Wainwright, Dennis, what next for him? He's doing well?
Yeah, I mean...
Stocks rose, the saying?
The stock's gone up. Even, he fought on a Warren show, lost on a 96-94, put the kid down, fought a higher weight category, but showed his mettle. Surely can be heavy-handed, and he can box. He probably just run out of gas because of the weight difference. But Keenan's going to win something meaningful. He's got charisma. He's got a very attractive style, and I like him a lot. And we're going to win something. And you'll see in 2023, we'll go after titles with Keenan. And he's a lovely kid. I know his dad from when we used to play football together. Glenn Rhodes has done a great job with him, and I'm going to do my bit of magic with him and get him some titles. You watch.
What do you think about all them critics, Dennis, that say Keenan Wainwright's only got a backhand?
Well, it's better than having no hand at all, isn't it? It's if you've got a leveler in one hand, listen, he's heavy-handed. If he puts a left hook on you, you're not happy. You watch this. You're watching. He's still a work in progress, Russ, as well. So the kid's still improving. He's just going to get better and better, and he's got a great attitude. Lives the right way, and that experience he's just had will work wonders for him. So
do you think it's refreshing, Dennis? Do you think it's refreshing to work with somebody that's don't want to pad his record out to 20-0? He's willing to take hard fights early doors.
Yeah, I mean, proper fighters fight, and you look at people like Craig Derbyshire, who we're just getting a Commonwealth title for. We're working with Steve Vaughan. He's playing a big part with us now, and it's refreshing. These kids, they just because they've got losses on the record. When they get with the right trainer and they get the right, they start to live right and get things proper. There's fine lines between success and failure. And sometimes if you've got the right attitude, the right mentality, them losses, them L's aren't losses, and it's that old cliche, they're learners, they're learning fights. And Craig is fighting Conor Butler for the Commonwealth title. That's a pick and fight. Mark my words, it might be a bit too early for Conor, but he's a talent, Conor. And we think we're going to do some big things with Conor. But Craig is very, very capable, and they will fancy this job. They'll think they're too experienced and too strong for Conor Butler. That's a smashing fight. But going back to what we're saying is that look at Craig's record. It looks shocking on paper, but look at some fighters he's beat recently. Undefeated fighters, and he fought a controversial draw for the British title against Tommy Frank. And they were screaming that it was such a bad decision. And one or two said it were a bad decision, that Craig should have won. So, and RRA Tommy, I think Tommy's a class act. And hopefully he'll show that against Jay Harris when they fight in March. So, I've got some cracking fights coming up.
That's a good fight. Jay Harris, Tommy Frank.
We've got some cracking fights coming. So we've regrouped. We're sifting the snakes out, Russ, and I'm working with some proper people. So happy.
Yeah. Cash Alley, Dennis, Richard Towers. What's the latest?
I don't know, Russ. I don't know. I can't really comment on that. It's at the moment I'm disappointed because I love the pair of them, as you know, and I think they've had some personal issues. I know Cash has been injured. I got him rated at number 11 in the IBF. I took him from people not wanting to know him when he bit David Price, and I don't really want to comment on it because I think a lot about the pair of them. So I'd rather just leave it there.
All right. Fightzone, Dennis. Is it in good shape?
It's getting there now, Russ. We've been let down by certain people. I sound as though I'm playing a victim today, don't I, Russ? Yeah. But but you know me, I like to bounce back. I've had my ups and downs in boxing, but like I said, the positive things are we've got some titles we're going after. We're developing some fresh new talent, and Fightzone is a great platform for us. But the platform that we're on, it's not been functioning as well as we'd like it to. And some of our social media and as marketing, we've had a change of staff. We're going in a slightly different direction, but all these fights, we've got about 4 or 5 fights which will be put out there very, very shortly, as you'll see, and they'll all be on Fightzone. So we've got some smashing fights to look forward to, meaningful titles at the top, working with smashing kids like Scott Kalo, you've got Carl Greaves, we've got quite a few fights, partnerships, like I said, in working closely with Stephen Vaughan. There's that one in Malta, which is, I think that's making history, Russ. I don't know if a Commonwealth title's been fought for in Malta before. It was going to be on the boat in Gibraltar, that fight, but because of Stephen and his people's connections, and he's involved with a football club out there, we're going to Malta with that one. So that'll be a nice little excursion. South Africa, we're going to do some bits in South Africa, which will all be revealed in the next few weeks. So we're not running on the spot, Russ. You know me, I've always tried to look for something different, like we did when we did the car park shows. People were sat on their hands, but we got on work. I went past the car park the other day with Sarah, and it looks just like it is disused, unused and just a space. And we created like a festival atmosphere, and people will talk about that for years to come. Because we think outside the box. I made a bit of history there with the driving and stuff like that, and we'll keep doing stuff which are groundbreaking. You know, I don't need a big brother or like Sky, BT or whatever throwing money at you and just doing the same thing. I've done it for years. Done stuff from when I started in my garage, gone all the way to Vegas with Ricky Hatton. So, I've gone from the ground right to the top. Who else can say they've done that? And then I'm still here after 30 years, Russ.
Yeah, you're still at Mix, Ron. Have you got a regular arena in Sheffield?
It's happening. We've just got the go ahead. So the building regs, we're just getting it okayed by the council. And I think come March, you'll see the Fightzone arena not resurrect, but arise. And I'd like to see you come and do 1 or 2 interviews down there, Russ.
Yeah.
Like what did they used to have? Like the Muppet Show, them 2 fellas in the balcony. You can be one of them, slagging everybody from the balcony.
Yeah, that'll be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be good. So nobody can get at you, but they can just throw tomatoes at you or something like that.
That'll be good, wouldn't it?
We've got to keep you around the cage so nobody can get at you. Oh, you're like John Dillinger, public enemy #1.
If I don't say anything, Dennis, nobody else will they? Because everybody I see interview you at these shows, they're all asking questions that are soft and easy ones. I can see you licking your lips like a fox.
Come on, get me some more questions.
You'll come over to me and you go, "Oh, that was easy, wasn't it?" I go, "Yeah,
yeah,
oh yeah."
What about when you used to slag me off and say, "Get on my channel, Dennis. Where are you?"
Yeah, well, you were swerving it, weren't you?
I was swerving. I couldn't cope with it at that time.
You were like, "Welcome to my office if you're brave enough." So I did. I did have one. I had
That's
one
got too many balls. That's what now you've got. Too much balls.
I had one eyeball on Crusher in yard. I thought, who's that? Is that Richard Towers out there? Who's that out there moving?
Listen, you ended up in one of my like bales of scrap, you in the middle.
Yeah, I can imagine like the rest of them. Pundit jobs at Fightzone. Terry's had 2 gigs off you, hasn't he? Carl Greaves one and one of yours.
Yeah, I like Terry, I do. But we're just trying to mix it up, and I try not to get too involved in that side, Russ. But I just try to mix it up and ask him to give Terry a shot, because obviously he's very knowledgeable. I love his voice, and just want to mix it up because I don't know. He's sometimes boxing is a bit staid, when you had Adam Smith on Sky and you had all these other different, it was the same thing. Even though I know you're not that too fussed about Mr. Bean, and I know he's got his issues, but it needs a change every so often. Boxing needs to, it goes in cycles, and we need to freshen it up. These women commentators on football and boxing. Now we've overdone it. The World Cup, you've got 3 women at once at pitch side. It's too much because it's fashionable. It's tick box, isn't it? We've got to bring women in. Well, don't overdo it. It's like anything. If you're good enough, yes, it shouldn't matter if you're male, female, whatever you are. If you've got something to say and you've got a bit of charisma and you talk sense, or you can be controversial if it's entertaining. Yeah, if you're good enough, sound. So yeah, that's what we want to try and do, and keep mixing it up.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's good that you've been looking at YouTubers and thinking he'd be all right for a pundit. I think it's good that you're looking outside of the norm for pundits. Do you know what I mean? You're looking at people who are on fringes and people who love the sport and who'll speak from art. Do you know what I mean? I think that's good.
Good. Because it's real, isn't it? And almost reality TV, because that's what we want. We don't want to be fed. There's too many people, and it's like you put the news on, it's just brainwashing is the news. Well, let's get real people on.
Yeah, Terry, Julian, Rico, they'll all be fantastic. Because one of the Julian's done it before. I think Rico's done a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Conor Benn situation, Dennis. And the board's rolling it, and Eddie and Calla. Who's to blame? And where's this B sample?
To be honest, I hadn't looked into it as much as what you have. It brings the game into disrepute, because you get the odd comments you've seen. So many people out there who aren't 100% boxing people think the game is fully corrupt. Well, obviously, there's bits of corruption in anything where people cheat. And it's wrong. Then gives the whole industry a bad name. It's not all corrupt, because, like I've mentioned, all the small old promoters and fighters, these certain ones what trying to do the right thing. But obviously Conor, and I love watching the kid, and I've met him when he was younger, and I thought what a lovely fella, and obviously I loved his dad when he was fighting. So it's such a shame, and obviously he's brought the game into disrepute. But there's 2 or 3 of them before him. You'll know the names more than me, and who's got done for taking enhancement drugs. But it's how it's been handled, and if they'd have handled it the proper way, and he'd have put his hands up and said, "Look, I've made a mistake," or whatever, and gets the ban, and he has to stay in training and wait, serves his punishment, and the fight's still there. They haven't handled it properly. I don't know if the board's handled it properly, in a proper manner. I don't know enough about it, so I don't really want to comment. All I am is sick that it's tarnished the game, and Conor should take his punishment. Yeah, all right then. I've been found with some. I didn't know that I shouldn't have done this, all right. But obviously, I'm guilty because I've got some enhanced trace enhanced drug in me. I'm sorry. I'll take my punishment, accept it, and move on. And I'll face, like, whether it's 12 or 24 months, and then stay in training, go away, brush up on his skills, and then the Eubanks fight could still be there. But they've not handled it properly, and I don't know if that fight's ever going to be there. And he's tarnished his reputation. It's a shame, because he's exciting, and as a commodity and as a fighter, he's good for the game. He's exciting, but he's tarnished himself and the game.
If you were in Eddie and Calla's position, would you have done the same thing as them?
In what respect?
Buried the tests, not mentioned it, and gone on this morning TV fight week, bigging fight up, knowing that there's been 2 failed tests.
How can you do that? You've got to do the right thing. I'm afraid.
Do you think that when you dealt with the Liam Cameron situation, you were saying, I can't believe that, and then when it came out about the Sheedy test,
yeah,
that was when you decided to wash your hands, wasn't it?
Yeah, because I got lied to. I got lied to myself. So what can I do? I didn't hide it. I just said, well, just if that's the case, you've got to prove it yourself. You tell me that you haven't took this, and it was on, what were it? It either gone at dentist. It went from going to the dentist to counting money and getting it off money, so the traces. So, and it got in his bloodstream, which, you put your hand up and you say, right, I've got found with something in my bloodstream. I accept it. I don't know how it's got there, but I accept it. I'm guilty. Punish me, but I want to face. I want to take my punishment, and then I'll come back. They should have done it that way, and they haven't. And they've tried to be sneaky, I suppose. And I don't know if they have, to be honest. I don't know if they've been lied to like me. So retract that, being sneaky. I mean, if they did know he'd got a. Are you sure they knew that he got a positive test?
Am I sure? I think Liam had counted money. A lot of money, ticket money, and it got traced as a beak on it. Not money. That's right.
Oh, with Liam, yeah. But going back to Eddie and
Connor.
yeah, if they knew he got a positive test, yeah, they should have took another test and obviously called the fight off.
If that happened with you, then say Keenan Wainwright, we're going for a British title next year, and he failed a dope test, and he said, "No, I ain't took out," so they kept it to themselves. And then a month later, fails another one for the same thing, and you found out. I think you'd pull it. I think you'd pull him off, pull shove.
I would.
I think you would.
I would, because like I don't want my. I've been in game 30 years, and I don't want to be. And my reputation, you know, I mean, people slag you off who don't even know the full truth with certain stories, and you know, it's wrong. So I won't want. I'd keep my principles. I'm not in the game to cheat like that because you're playing with somebody else's health. That's the big thing, Russ.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. All right then. Any Jersey shows planned?
We've spoke about it. I've had Anna Rankin over here, and a good friend is the CEO of sport here. So I'm going to have a meet, and there might be something that we're going to pull together. I'm the only one who's done professional boxing in the last 50 or 60 years over here, because of the medical side. You have to get that right. So I've done that twice. Clinton fought an IBF world title final eliminator here, and I had Femi and Ryan Barrett fight for the English title, which obviously made history here. So yeah, I've done some couple of smashing shows here, and I'd like to do it again now we're back here. So that'd be one to watch out for us.
Do you see how Brad from Guernsey, he went to Jersey on that jet ski from Guernsey?
Yeah, it was supposed to come over last week to see me.
What, on his jet ski?
Yeah, I think he'd have found it a bit rough. The seas were a bit rough.
It's 29 mile, isn't it?
Is it 29 mile?
Yeah, some travelling that, isn't it, from Guernsey, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's I won't fancy that, because sometimes, honestly, these seas here, it can go from being calm to get rough very quickly. So he's got some balls in. It's either balls or craziness. I think it's a bit of both.
Yeah. I said, "How did you do it?" They said, "I just followed one of them ships." Like you do.
Well, you've got to be careful over here, because them ships, they run over boats. There's been a tragedy, hasn't there, over the last few weeks. One of the ferries run into a fishing boat and killed 3 people. So it's a bit dangerous what he did, to be fair to him.
Yeah. I wonder how he's kicked on with his career, because when he left you, he went to Steve Goodwin, and then he just sort of disappeared, didn't he? He beat NASA, didn't he?
Yeah, he beat NASA for English, and a bit wayward old Brad, isn't he? But he's so likeable. And he could have done a bit better, Brad, and we could have made a bit of history. I was going to put a show on over in Guernsey with him. I went over to have a look at 1 or 2 venues, and we never come together. It's a shame, because I'd have liked to have done that over there with him and made a bit of history there in Guernsey. But he's back running his business. He's got a floor lane business, so I think he's doing okay for himself.
Yeah, he's all right, Brad. He's all right. All right, then, do you want to click on to part 2, mate? Cheers.
Russ.
Yeah.
How long will that be? Because I'm supposed to be nipping off. Nah.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do then. We'll do this tomorrow then. Yeah. Oh, another day.
I'll do that one tomorrow with you, and then I can get off now, because she wants to go shopping now. So right, last bit of Christmas shopping.
All right. Well, listen, we'll chat tomorrow then, Dennis. Christmas Day then. All right.
All right, love.
You take care.
Merry Christmas, kids, and I'll see you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye, pal.
Bye. Well, that was Dennis. We'll get Dennis on tomorrow, part 2 for you. I promised you a part 1 and a part 2, so we'll get part 2 out tomorrow, and we'll probably get part 2 out late tomorrow night or Boxing Day. Okie dokie. Peace out.